Imagine this. You pull an all-nighter cramming for an exam. You highlight, reread, and even make pretty color-coded notes. But the next day, poof, 70% of it is gone. Sound familiar? Meanwhile, Japanese and Chinese students memorize thousands of characters and formulas, and they actually remember them for life. No, they're not superhumans. They just study differently. And that's exactly what we're about to uncover. The numbers don't lie. In international education rankings, Japan and China consistently outperform Western countries in math, science, and reading. So what's their secret? It's not about studying harder. It's about studying smarter. Be honest. How many times have you done this? Highlighting, rereading, rewriting entire paragraphs. It feels productive, but in reality, it's just mental background noise. Kind of like an Instagram ad you scroll past. Your brain barely registers it. And that's because of something called the forgetting curve. Within 24 hours, your brain dumps almost everything you've just learned. By day 3, you remember barely a tiny fraction. Western students try to fight this by cramming. But here's the problem. Cramming forces short-term storage, not deep learning. That's why information vanishes the moment you walk out of the exam room. But here's what Japanese and Chinese students do differently. And trust me, it's a game share. Asians study secrets that make learning effortless. 1. Active recall. The samurai approach to memory. Most students focus on input, reading, highlighting, watching videos. But here's the problem. Your brain doesn't strengthen memories by passively absorbing information. It strengthens them by retrieving it. Think of your memory like a samurai sword. Every time you struggle to recall something, your brain forges a stronger connection, just like a sword sharpens through repeated strikes. Instead of rereading, try this. Close your book, grab a blank sheet, and write down everything you remember. It feels frustrating at first, but that struggle is the magic. It strengthens neural connections, making recall faster and easier over time. 2. The Common Method. Mastering small chunks daily. Ever feel paralyzed looking at a giant textbook? Japanese students don't tackle learning in huge chunks. They break it into bite-sized daily lessons. This is called the Common Method. Instead of cramming 50 pages the night before, they study 1 page a day for 50 days. Slow? Maybe effective? Absolutely. According to James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, small, consistent improvements lead to massive mastery. A 1% improvement each day doesn't just add up, it multiplies exponentially. 3. Spaced repetition. The gardening technique for your brain. Cramming is like dumping a gallon of water on a plant all at once. It overflows, but nothing gets absorbed. Spaced repetition is like watering at regular intervals. It lets the knowledge sink in deep. Japanese and Chinese students don't wait until the night before. They space out their reviews strategically. A popular method: flashcards and spaced review apps like Anki. Review at these intervals. 1 day later, 3 days later, 1 week later, 1 month later. Each time you review, your brain fortifies the memory, making it last longer. 4th, Kaizen, the 1% rule of continuous improvement. In Japan, students follow a philosophy called Kaizen, which means continuous improvement. Instead of last-minute panic, they focus on slow, steady mastery. Think of it like lifting weights. You don't bench press 200 pounds on day 1. You start light, then build up over time. Learning works the same way. 5. Shuhari, the art of focus and deep learning. In Japan, students practice shuhari, a method of deep focus through ritual. They create a learning environment where their brain knows it's time to focus. Want to boost your concentration? Try this. Set up a dedicated study space. Use a specific study trigger like a special pen, a scented candle, or background music. Eliminate distractions, phone on silent. No social media. By turning studying into a ritual, your brain recognizes it as an important task, making learning easier and more effective. 6. Rote memorization. The Chinese formula for long-term retention. Western students focus on understanding first, memorization later. But in China, students do the opposite. Memorize first, understand later. This method may seem old school, but it works. Repetition physically strengthens neural pathways, making recall effortless. Actionable tip. For language learning, copy vocabulary words by hand multiple times. For math, memorize formulas before solving problems. For history, recite key dates before diving into deeper understanding. Now, the choice is yours. You can go back to cramming and forgetting. Or you can start using these Asian study secrets today. Pick one of these techniques and test it for just 1 week. You'll be shocked at how much you remembered. Subscribe for more life-changing hacks.